18th, and we're just about ready to port at Mazatlan. Now, this is one of the benefits to reserving a balcony with your stateroom. You get to wake up, look outside, and see the ship arriving at the next port. That is, if the arrival isn't during the middle of the night when you're sound asleep.
That's the Norwegian Joy.
Norwegian Joy from Norway. That's a huge ship.
Norwegian Joy. Oh, it's not through up the internet.
Look at it. Look at the slide they have on the top level. Look at those tube slides.
Oh yeah, the kids' crap.
Yeah. The ship is making a U-turn.
You know,
I guess we'll be docked right next to that Norwegian line.
And go to the back of the ship.
We'll be docked right next to that Norwegian line.
Yeah, right behind it.
Look at all the homes on the hillsides. And I see a church. I see boats.
Oh, look what they got there.
I see palm trees. Mazatlan is known as the Pearl of the Pacific because of the friendliness of its people and the beauty of its beaches. The Malecon, the beachfront boardwalk along Avenue del Mar, at 13 miles long, is the longest in Mexico. On a City Highlights bus tour, we drove through the busy streets of Mazatlan that were filled with shoppers and street vendors selling shrimp. The city has thrived on its fishing industry for centuries, and shrimp is their most famous export. We finally made our way to the first stop on the tour, the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. It is the main religious building in the city. The architecture is in the Baroque Revival style of Sinaloa, which is the state of Mazatlan, and the temple is home of the Catholic diocese.
They got Jesus in the but he's not real. In Italy, they have a real mummy.
Yeah. Someone put $1 inside.
Yeah. And a peso, 20 pesos.
The construction of the temple began in the year 1856 by order of Bishop Pedro Loza y Pardave and was finally completed in 1899 under the direction of the parish priest Miguel Lacara. Before our next stop at the Golden Zone along the coast, our tour guide gave us a 45-minute break to shop or to have lunch. We decided to come here, and you guessed it, have margaritas. We're in Mazatlan, the Golden Zone on the coast. They're parasailing above the water. All the shops. Oh, yeah, it goes on. A lot of.
Let's go in.
Can I get you? Take it out.
We are going to do that for sure.
We had one of these in Rosarito.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was all on the back.
Close to those little rocks. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is our lighthouse. We're going to be able to see them in a few minutes. And you're going to be able to take a picture close to it. Of course, we're not doing that hike today.
The El Faro Lighthouse is the highest natural lighthouse anywhere in North or South America, and one of the highest in the world. The lighthouse is right behind you, Frank. It casts a beacon visible for 30 nautical miles. If we had had the time, it would have been fun to make the 1 hour hike up to it. We were told by our guide that the views are breathtaking. On the shore adjacent to the lighthouse, you'll find the famous clavadistas, or divers. We were told that they spend their days diving and work only for tips. These aquatic daredevils are eager to entertain you with their daring dives off the towering rocks into the water below. At this popular tourist location and the other areas we visited, we saw local vendors with their portable stands selling souvenirs to the American tourists. And as expected, we were approached constantly to buy something from them. It's early Thursday morning, December 19th, about 7 a.m., and we are in Cabo San Lucas now. Cabo San Lucas is one of Mexico's top tourist destinations. It is known for its beaches and scuba diving locations, as well as the famous Arch of Cabo San Lucas. This is the distinctive rock formation at the southern tip of Cabo, which is the southern end of Mexico's Baja California peninsula. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see the arch from our vantage point from where the ship was anchored. As shown in the screenshot, the arch should be somewhere behind the area where the arrow is pointing.
I'm off the network again.
Cabo is an anchor port for all cruise ships sailing on Mexico's Riviera, and so there is no cruise pier. Our ship had to anchor in the bay, and we were taken by tender boat to the port. Look at the sandy beaches between the rocks. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
What is it?
The beaches between the rocks.
Oh, yeah. It's nice, though. They
Yeah.
probably go out to the beach like that.
Can you believe Princess is only giving us a couple hours to be here? Cabo San Lucas, instead of the entire day. As I said earlier, the ship had to change the itinerary of our ports of call. We were scheduled to be in Cabo on Monday, but ended up arriving on Thursday. Apparently there was a problem with one of the ship's engines that forced us to travel at a slower speed to the first port, which was supposed to be Cabo, and we were not able to make it in time. Bottom line, what was supposed to be an all-day, 9-hour visit ended up being just a few hours in the morning, with the ship leaving at 12 noon. We had to cancel our 4-hour excursion that included a tour to a glass factory where artisans blow glass into art. I don't want to go to the entrada. That's the marina. Let's go where the lighthouse is and go tour downtown.
Yeah.
That's what the man said. Oh, well, next time we'll have to do our excursion.
Yeah.
It was smart that we canceled yesterday.
Yeah.
We would have never made it.
Oh, you can see it.
Lots of restaurants and then just touristy shops so far. Lots of restaurants. Come on, Francisco. I'm afraid if we go off the beaten path, we might get lost.
I don't know where we're going.
You know what I mean?
We'll go past that. We can walk that.
An abandoned building that was never completed. The construction of this luxury hotel complex was halted and abandoned nearly 25 years ago. Known by locals as the Gray Ghost, The site remains in limbo as it decays. It has been partly ransacked by vandals and with time continues to be dismantled by nature. Apparently, there was a union contract dispute involving the Revolutionary Confederation of Workers and Farmers and the group of investors. The dispute was supposedly resolved in 2014 and construction was to resume, but as of today, it's still abandoned. We're at the end of this walkway, whatever you want to call it. What is it? The Cabo San Lucas Marina. We really don't have time to walk any further into town because we need to be back on the ship before it departs. Maybe next time we'll have like maybe a 5-hour stay. Not this time. We only get like a couple hours of walking in. At the end of the marina, we found some beach. Blue flag, Mexico. There's the Amsterdam ship. And then further is our Royal Princess ship that we'll be getting back on in, I guess, about an hour or so. Look at all the condominiums on the other side. Here's one of the many restaurant and shop employees who got Frank's attention once again, asking him to come in for some tequila or to buy souvenirs. Rather than simply saying no thank you, Frank is compelled to give the full story, how Princess is limiting our time in Cabo, that we were supposed to be here days ago, yada yada yada. Frank did end up buying some tchotchkes for gifts and a couple colorful serapes, and I got this nifty cap embroidered with the name Los Cabos. By 11:30 a.m., we were back on the ship. Within the hour, the Royal Princess was leaving Cabo San Lucas, and we were on our way for the 2-day voyage back to San Pedro, California. During those last 2 days of the cruise, we saw some breathtaking sunsets. We spent time watching movies under the stars, but sometimes it was just too cold to finish watching a film to the end. Avengers Endgame is playing out on the deck, poolside, but it's cold out here, and a towel just doesn't cut it in keeping me warm. We enjoyed our last cocktail hour on board the ship. It'll be the last sip. This is it.
What are you going to have to eat?
I think it's stuffed, what is it? Trout. Stuffed
Oh
trout.
yeah, that's a nice white fish. I think you'll like it. You like that drink, huh? You got to go to an AA meeting later.
I prefer Midori margaritas.
I know you do.
To Midori, Grey Goose and vodka.
Right. Well, say so long till a little later.
So long until we meet again. Fortunately, I got a little seasick only once, and that was the day before we arrived back home. We experienced this a couple of times during our evening cookie run. The ship is a-rockin'. But hey, nothing we're not used to living in Southern California with the earthquakes and all. Ha ha. All in all, this was a good first cruise experience for me. Frank had been on previous cruises, and he enjoyed this one too. Who knows? Maybe next time we'll plan a princess cruise to the Caribbean.